Hello, everybody. It's Memorial Day. And I'm just sitting back, relaxing, and observing the situation. Labor. And it all stop picturing down in the law. Was picturing down in the law. Was a cookie car, was a law. Alright, here we go. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Well, we're big little singers. We got big little fingers, and we love everywhere we go. We sing about Jesus, and we sing about His truth. At $10,000 a show, supposedly. Maybe nice, yeah, $10,000 sounds nice. Anyway, what like some people want, like they see this statue and they say like, well, what's that guy? He was a good guy. He was like evangelist or something, and he said he needed so much money or God was going to take him. I'm just saying, let's make a movie. I'm trying, maybe it's therapeutic for me. No, I mean, no, it's therapeutic, yeah. To have a chemical imbalance, yeah. Am I trying to fight? Not in all cases of suicide is an imbalance. Matter of fact, they just put it in the DSM that suicide is a mental illness. Not everybody that commits suicide has that illness, but there is an illness that, and it's almost like being programmed to death or something. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated than that. I mean, you do have suicidal thoughts, which come from yourself, and it's just magnified by the imbalance. I mean, we gotta magnify the Lord, not the imbalance. Hey, Bobby, we gotta play a chess one of these days, Man, I'm glad you're here to see me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we gotta play another game of chess. Yeah, Bobby, he's a real good chess player. We gotta do that. We were talking about me and Bobby. I'm glad he came on. We were talking about chess and about how kingdoms played chess for like what? He was telling me something about how they played chess for like two kingdoms. Like you lose your whole kingdom. Now, when we're playing poker, politics is different than, playing chess politics. Now, when we're with the Russians, we usually play poker and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I kind of wonder, if we're not in a game of chess. And it seems funny that it relies all on a movie. You might say, well, what does this movie have to do, this bacteria? So what? Let's say there's a bacteria that's driving you crazy and that we need a solution for the problem. Because and I don't mean suicide, you could die of natural causes because of this disease. And I'm not saying that all mental illnesses are coming from this disease. I'm saying that whether you have a mental illness or not, you could come up with symptoms of a mental illness because of this bacteria. And that's just a sign that the bacteria is causing the stress levels going too high. So I thought, like, in the spirit realm, and I get excited about creating. I'm not the creator, but a movie. Some people say, well, I don't go to the movies because people create them or something. I don't believe in the will because people created a will, so I don't use wills. Wendy Ann, I run around naked because everybody created everything. And God don't exist, good night or something. I was like, what? That didn't even make sense. But, I don't know, like medicine. Like, let's say in a real emergency that we had to take medicine because it would kill us. and you said, no, I refuse the medicine, I don't think I need it, I'll go without it. Then you're putting your life in your own hands. Then they would say that you are basically suicidal, or in that term, you would be. I just think, this is the United States of America, and I don't believe that that's a good route to take. I think we have to think and sit about it as citizens. Yeah, you have the right for a lot of rights. Like if you had the right, see, this is the kicker. It's like if this bacteria, we find out that it can cause this, a dissociative or some a psychological issue. It's more than just, you become unstable, and then they can say, well, we can prove it because the stress level's gone too high. I see it, and it's like the movie is the answer, It's like so clear to me. I mean, what, they're saying Trump's crazy, everybody that voted for him is crazy, and they could take it all back. It doesn't matter. Why are they saying that stuff? I don't think they know why. I think it's very easy, like for someone with a mental illness, to say everybody around them's crazy. I mean, it's common, Teresa, hey, how you doing? Teresa Wilson is watching. That's right. Yeah, I know it too. A little bit. Life was filled with guns and war. Everyone got trampled on the floor. Okay? I mean, so this movie, you gotta get into the movie if you want to be a role player in the movie. Now, I also think you should be a patriot that's in the movie, and there should be, definitely some MPs in the movie, retired and not retired, I guess. The not retired ones would play more on the reality stage because they're working. The ones that are on the MPs that are retired or whatever they call it, but they're still MPs for the military police. They're just playing a role in my movie or something. So we would, even though there might be a curfew and all this different stuff, I mean, it would still be cool to go out and make a movie while we're doing this, I mean, it's not like, this is our country, and to make a movie is one of our rights. It's not like, we want to lock everybody up and we'll go running around free. And then I remember someone said, what if there's so many criminals that, they lock us up to save us to let them go free? And I think that's what would happen without the movie. Now, I know that sounds strange to most of you guys. Like we don't like movies or something, or maybe we're, religiously against them, but we allowed to make them because we had nothing better to do. I mean, it's funny, like, this state is, I see it, as I've been practicing my movie lines, I'm realizing that the movie must go on, and the elephant left the room, and all's clear. Now, someone said, like, once, does the enemy really exist? Yes. Are there a mass unit in Michigan? Yes. Is there a bacteria? Yes. There's all kinds of bacteria. Yes. Is there one that drives you crazy? Yes. Is that the one you're talking about? That's one I have. Well, I don't know if I have it, but I do know I have a mental illness, so I guess that's a side point. Because let's say I'm taking the mental health pills to help my thinking processes. It does not mean that the illness of the bacteria that will kill you, if it's in my blood or not, well, that's a whole nother story. Now, why would they throw a bug on us? Why don't they just come and have like, because we have a big army, they kind of anticipated things. I don't know why some people are like, well, maybe the enemy's dumb, or maybe the enemy's not thinking. If we call them dumb long enough, they'll believe it. I mean, we believe it when people call us dumb. There's some justification to that, but it doesn't mean that they got to fall for it. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, I mean, they called us babies or something, infidels. I mean, I thought that just meant you're like little goofy cocoa nuts. So they're calling each other's names. That's usually when they calling, like when you call them gooks or something like that, and that's not a right thing to do anymore because we're not at war with them. So like when you're stuck in a war-like situation, you tend to use phrases that are out of sync with quote-unquote correct speech. And when we get down to the nitty-gritty of how Trump talks, and we say it's all prejudice and stuff like that, I think he's saying we're not just fighting. Like, think of the first president that was a Republican. He have never said anything about his brothers in the South. He said that we're brothers. That's what I'm talking about. We have a mental illness as Americans. They are the enemy. Now, how? Because even though they got the shot, maybe not everybody wants to participate, so they might hold off, leave him on a drip or something, make sure he fights. But the thing is that's cool. I mean, that's understandable. That's what the enemy's doing. But nonetheless, when you talk, see, when you talk about the movie, Frank, you got to realize they don't know what's real. Well, it's simple. Know what's real and know how to talk about it. But you don't have to be playing games. I mean, I know some people that get captured by these people want us to stop calling them names because they're all upset or something. Or just take a breather kind of thing, I guess. Because I know there was a lot of people that want to leave our country just because we become so third worldy, which they kind of created themselves, and then they don't want to live in it. They don't want to clean up their mess. They can at least try. I mean, I make messes. Like my room is real messy, and I try to clean it. Try to clean it. I do. I get it as best I can, and I've been working on it more, but now I'm just staying out of there. There's no more to be done because it's World War III. But anyway, it's not like I can say it's World War III. In the movie, I can say it's World War III. In reality, I'm just the guy making a movie, but, I don't predict that there's World War III. I know that there's a strong delusion. It just is. Crazy is, crazy does. And we're making this movie, and when we come out of the movie, hopefully everything will be all right. Now you think about men will be boys and boys will be girls. It's a mixed up world. It's a mixed up world. Now when Obama was president, he was going to talk about how the world was all mixed up, but we have to wonder if he was one of the ones who messed it up. That's all. I mean, you're worried about Trump, but you're not worried about this, and we just, we batter, batter and splatter and catter each other. Excuse me. Are there some good Democrats? That's like saying, are there good Muslims? Pretty much. Yeah, there's good Muslims. Yeah, there are good Democrats. And there's a lot of Muslims that are American. But not all of them that are Americans want to follow our laws. And they have the right to think different than the average pro. As long as they don't act on it, The thing is, who's going to, throw the first blow, I guess. But it kind of like the enemy already has, if this bacteria is real, but we all know it's just in the movie, I guess. Yeah. It helps us be able to think. I don't know. Maybe it gives like a paranoia that's so deep that you don't even want to think that a bacteria. Come on, man, little man in a big coat. And some people might call me a little man in a big coat, or a big man in a bigger man's coat. And Trump's not afraid. He knows what to say, when to say it. Now, I know everybody thinks he can't talk presidential. Maybe one day he'll prove it if he wants to. But it's kind of hard when, like, you're in the middle of World War III and you're trying to explain it to the people. Maybe he was a visionary like me, and he saw, like, this World War thing, this thing is going to turn to World War. I don't know when it did. I guess it was when the bacteria did it, or Barack Obama kind of like just gave everything away, hoping that they wouldn't hurt us. I don't know. Oh boy. I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking. I mean, everybody. There's a lot of people saying like, "Oh, he just bowed," and like, "Oh, he didn't bow. He just bent." Maybe he's more flexible than the rest of us. I don't know. And then Nixon, I think that Nixon was in a bash kind of problem. Now, yeah, I mean, they like to make things up about the dead, but I mean, the simple thing is there's in the first term of Nixon. I know people don't like Nixon, I guess, because he's the tricky dick, and they kind of like him because he's tricky, but they don't like that they got screwed by him. But so they say. But the thing is like now you can't even get in trouble for what he would have got in trouble for, I think. But what's interesting is like Watergate was all messed up. Like kind of like people on acid were all messed up at yeah, I'm gonna have to turn something off. It keeps making commercials. I thought, yeah, I'm having a hard time here, guys, and I just want to go home to my maker sometimes. Because everything's so frustrating and so upsetting. And it's like, why make a movie? Why do all this? No, I don't have a gun. No, I don't got a gun because I can't have one. and, and I wouldn't fight anybody, but I still don't want one. It's just, and if I did, what would I do with it? Even if like I wasn't gonna do something with it, which I never did anything with the gun that was illegal in the United States. It might have been illegal in another country because they didn't like, they like their generals and we like our generals. And I really can't prove I even did it, but it's possible. Well, my doctor, Richard Atkins, he's not the Atkins doctor, I don't think. The one that was like, the diets and stuff, I'm not sure. I don't think so. But he was the one who gave me the multiple personality disorder. He's the one that said that I had post-traumatic stress disorder. And he wanted everybody to know that. He wanted to tell everybody that he was the first one that diagnosed me with DID, dissociative identity disorder. The other one just were playing, pretty much. But he did want to say that also, in the background, he was fighting for me. And he also wanted to say, if he could still talk today, I miss Dr. Atkins. I just want to tell him I love him up there in heaven. I hope he's looking out for us. And he also said that just because you have a speech impairment or understanding impairment or whatever, God can still use you. And I guess maybe that's why he's using me, because I'm all messed up. And you guys can make fun of me all you want. And they just, maybe God thought, well, maybe I'll throw a twist in there, see what happens. I don't know. I don't know why he's gifted me the way he did. He just did. Or even let's say you're atheist, you can just say, well, he's gifted, let's go. And they can leave it at that, and they can just go real far away. It's funny, like, reality comes closer as you seek it. Interesting, isn't it? Some of us ain't seeking reality. We get tired. We get kind of out of breath. We decide one way to heaven. That's through Jesus Christ. But you could, in the Old Testament, if you use any of those scriptures, it's not a way a man lives, it's the way a man dies that decides if he. So you can't just say, well, some of the old scriptures fit, but some of them don't. I guess you could say anything you want. I mean, you could make the scriptures sound like, the devil's God and God's the devil and the world is round and everybody doesn't know which way is up and let's go home. I mean, because they're a good talker and they can out debate you, especially if you're tired. None of that really matters in the scheme of things. Because we'll all find out in the end. I think, I didn't think there'd be much preaching on a holiday. We're tired of it. We're laboring down. It's time to do what you want to do. Hanging out down the street, the same old boys that we walked around last week. Well, it's good to stay. And I was thinking about this bacteria, in the movie situation. Now, if this bacteria is real and it does cause you a little problem, let's say you're at the edge of your religious paralysis. Religious paralysis, God's real. When you only believe He is, your thinking is different than what reality is about what you really know and what you really think. So not just me, but let's say jihadists running around in our woods. Where they call them, there's camps up north in Michigan. I'm sure there are other states too. I think every state has a little get together of Holy War Situation Plus or something they call it. I don't know. And they call it religious rights to run around. Just like, Michigan militias to say, we got our rights. And they say, we're just practicing our goodness in a fighting way or something, however they put it. They're like the second militia force or something. I don't know what they call themselves, honestly. I just call them gooks. But I don't think we should do anything because the thing is what I'm concerned about is that if they're practicing this holy war religious thing and the stress level is going to do high, they're going to want to take all our guns away. And we won't be able to play with each other. Now, I don't have any guns. So do I think they're coming for our guns? Yeah. The government, yeah. I don't know if they'll get them. I don't know if it's just part of the movie. It's obvious to see that the Democrats wanted us to give them up a long time ago. It's pretty much in their bylaws or something, just go against the Second Amendment, get rid of that. People can't handle the Second Amendment, or it's not necessary anymore. Whatever they think, I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both. But then, they give us tax. It's funny because they think it'll work, but then, think of taxes, right? And we know that when they start taking stuff out, it's really hard for people to take it back. On the phone bill, remember they used to have all these on the old phone bill. And they made all these taxes for war and stuff like that. Then they tried to take away the taxes. I mean, it's like you can't. It just they never go away. It's like I'm paying on something that's not even. Where is it going? It's not even going where it used to go because where it used to go doesn't even exist anymore. I mean, we don't need that, so it goes into a, a, a flush. Yeah. So I don't think people would give up their guns very easily. I mean, not all the people, no. So the movie would kind of like show who's sane and not sane. That's like saying Saddam Hussein really lives. No, no. Who's saying Saddam Hussein really lives? He's gone. Fake news, fake news. No, he's gone. And it's good to stay. What else could I talk about this bacteria? Especially if it was real or whatever. I don't know. It could be like bacteria, a germ-like thing. I might not say it. I don't know. It just, maybe I had a hunch and my hunch was right. You could think of it that way. I had a hunch because everybody's obviously going crazy. And we're all coming out of the hospital because, we're saying. And then they say stuff like Trump is the. I mean, that's what they said in the mental institution. They said Trump was the Hitler, Antichrist, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people got bitter about Trump just because the staff is teaching them reality. I mean, that's what they tell you. The reality is like, well, you don't understand. Your brain chemistry is different than your sex, and they don't even know if that. I'm not saying that's not true, but I mean, maybe they're telling you not truth. I mean, maybe if you're a man, you're a man, and if you're a woman, you're a woman. And these mental health people. Now I know that people have a hard time dealing with the mentally ill, but and I'm not saying they shouldn't take medicine. What I am saying is, who are you handing them off to? Anyway, it's not like they're in custody or anything. I mean that's like I mean, who would get in trouble? Like, if a crazy man heard that in the hospital and the crazy man went out and did something wrong, well, the crazy man would obviously be dealt with. But how about the guy that how about the guy that provoked it? And that would be like thought. I mean, that would be dealing with thoughts and rights and memory to speak, the right to speak and all that. So then you'd say, well, it's a job situation, and on the job you can't say something, but maybe it's not needed to be said. Then it would have, I don't know. They have a lot of leeway in hospitals. They can give you shock treatment without your permission. But yeah, they can also say whatever they want. I mean, they're gonna zap you and say, with electricity into your brain, kind of like you don't know, you can't remember your own name, and then hopefully it comes back, and you say you feel better, and then they say, oh, by the way, this president that we have in our, everybody voted for him, maybe you even voted for him, he's really the, he's like Hitler or something, and they zap you, and that's maybe the only thing you remember every time they get done with you, and then they call that justice or something. I don't know. I don't know. They said they never shocked me, but you started to wonder. It's a controlled environment, so I do remember getting out of bed one time, but that was a long time ago. It was like I just decided to get on it. I just wanted to lay on it. Maybe I was supposed to get on it, or I didn't know. And they're like, stay laying on it, because that were the people, the beds in the hallway, what they would take down to get the shock treatment. And I remember getting on the bed, and I don't remember getting off the bed. I might have, I don't know, I probably did, because the guy told me not, because only people that are getting shock treatment go on the bed. I'm like, oh man, I just wanted to lay my head down. Anyway, it's probably just another mistake. But I don't think shock treatment is any good. I don't even understand why they use it anymore. They talk about waterboarding. Like it's gonna like make you feel like you're drowning. How about if you got shock treatment and you can't remember your ass from a hole in the ground? And they're like, it'll help you because you don't know the difference. And when you get your head out of your ass, you'll feel better. Basically. I thought it was just behavior modification. Yeah, but it juggles around all the chemicals in your brain. They tell you. I seen the tapes that they have that because they wanted me to see if I'd go for it or something. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. Some people go for it. I mean, they sign the papers. Sign the papers, though, man. I mean, you're in a controlled environment. You sign papers, and then they got people who commit you think you need it. And maybe it's like, and all these people go, help me too. I don't want it. Now, did they give it to me when I didn't want it and I'm doing okay? It's a good question. And then they could say, we used it because it really helped and you don't know it. And look how good he's doing now. For all I know, who knows what they did to me in there, really. Now, I know that, my brother, I still have the same memories. I still have the same problems I always did. But I'm dealing with them better. Because my problems are not problems. My problems are situations that they didn't want to accept as real. And I don't mean like I'm just saying there's things that are real and things that are not real. And I guess they just gave up on what's real and not real because I keep talking. Because I won't shut up. And maybe since I didn't shut up, what I was saying happened to be on the truth side of things. And then he started thinking, like, why did you just give me truth serum or something like that in the first place and get it over with? Why are they, like, playing all these psychological games? Maybe they're good at it. I don't know. Maybe, this Soviet Union thing that we're into, because I'm on disability. I'm trying to make a movie. Trying to do things, get somewhere in life. Don't have much money, but if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. And maybe I was thinking about that one guy. What was his name? He's a general. He was a general, General Patton. Maybe he was afraid of mental hospitals, and that not that he was mentally ill, but I don't know. It's a stupid question. But the thing is there was this guy, and he had a mental illness. He was having flashbacks or something, and maybe he knew that this communist sickness of these people who are so liberal they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They don't know what a broken foot looks like when they made me walk on a broken foot. And I can understand that happening, like, with John McCain and him walking on a broken foot or whatever, because he's, in that, hotel or whatever they call it, I don't know. That's where all the people would go and check them out. The news reporters would eat during Vietnam. They would eat stuff and talk to the president or the general that was running everything at this camp and stuff. And they would ask how the war was going. Pretty exciting times for the news reporters. I mean, they got to see fire and rain. They're sickos, some of them. And then John McCain was like sitting there and, kind of wondering. Those same people are like, man, I'm really sad he's gone. Really enjoyed talking to whoever that general was at the, it was kind of run like a mental institution that, prison camp. And then I thought, like, gosh, if you believe in Jesus, all of a sudden you're considered mentally ill. Well, if you believe God is real and that God, one time I told this therapist, and these things stick for life too. I said to this one guy, I says, hey, he said, he was asking me a bunch of questions. He goes, do you hear voices? I said, no. He said, do you see things that are not there? I said, no. Then he goes, do you think God can talk to you? And I thought about it and I said, yeah, I think God can talk to you. Doesn't mean he is or doesn't, but if he's omnipotent, he can. But he called me schizophrenic for answering that question. That was the only question that I supposedly got wrong, was that, God can talk to you. And God can touch your nose. And God can blow you up. And God obviously doesn't believe that there's a God that can do anything. And if he was a God, he wouldn't do it anyway. And it doesn't matter if he wouldn't do it anyway, because the question was. And then I guess you would say, like, look at this thing we have right now. Frank believes that there's a germ that's killing us. It has nothing to do with his mental illness as much as it has to do with this germ that could make us all sick and die. And a side effect of this thing can cause mental illness. But it's not what my mental illness comes from, At least I don't think so. Anyway, which is interesting because let's say this bacteria is real. Wish I knew remembered that guy. I told my psychiatrist, I said, look, this guy is saying I'm crazy because I think God can, and it's like a lot of you. It's just weird. He goes, don't worry about him. But they still gave me a diagnosis anyway. So, I don't know. I don't worry about the diagnoses too much because they don't really mean very much. I mean, it's so abstract, it can kind of turn it into anything you want to hear. It's like kind of like those abstract pictures. They just kind of like try to like get a feel for where you're coming from, basically. That's all it's about. The diagnoses ain't shit. They can be, though, if they want to be more precise in explaining you. But the schizophrenia, bipolar stuff is just quacks telling off, if you're a more emotional person or more of a logical person. Because schizophrenics are usually logical, but maybe their thoughts are off, or but it's more they're a thinker. They say, I think this, I think that, and people that are considered on the bipolar end of things, which are more women, which I don't know why, but it is, and it breaks down because they, say, I feel this, I feel that. So there's two types of thinking. But one is not better than the other, because you can think your way into la la land, and you can say, well, controlling your emotions is totally different than being an emotional thinker. There's a big difference. I mean, people joke around about it, but there really is a difference. I mean, they joked around about left-handed people for a long time, and then they realized left-handed people are good batters in baseball and stuff, so therefore it's okay to be left-handed because we want to see more left-handed baseball playing. And then you just get to the point, you just tell them, don't keep telling me my ass, is all. Then they go, oh, you're cured. Good night. So it's like, the first time I ever was hospitalized, I told them that there was abuse in my house. And my parents came in, my mom and dad, and they came in, and he said, do you abuse him? And they're like, no. And that's not even really what I said, but I just said it happened at home. There were things happening at home that were abusive. And before I could say anything more than that, which I guess he was trying to protect me for all I know. But it scared me anyway, because I've been anyway, so he said I had to go in the hospital. But I didn't go right away. It was like, months and months later. And finally I went in the hospital. I lived with my sister Nancy, which is sort of nice to me for a while. You know, it's very hard when you share something that is very difficult um, to actually work it out. And it's like if you have the male organ or the female organ and you want to get rid of it, I don't know. And then if you want people to call you one thing or another, I would, you stay away from people that don't want you to call them what you think you are. I guess I don't know. If I think it's a problem, I think it's a problem. And it's not something to start a war over. That's for sure. I mean, like if either it's not. It's just not. It's not something to beat somebody else up over. It's not. And then by being angry does not mean that whatever you're thinking or feeling or believing is wrong. But when it's like you can't force somebody to talk a certain way. And I think that's what Trump's just trying to say. He sees that. He sees in the same guy that this guy I'm talking about is I don't know if he's a Republican or not, but he does a lot of speeches, but he doesn't like, Trump's harsh language. But then he doesn't have Trump's job either. He has people like him that won't vote for him, but he won't vote for Hillary either. It's like, he'll say, like, well, I didn't vote for either of them. Good luck. Good luck for people like you. You're just lucky you got him. Well, I use faith to get him in. Okay, faith. You got a lot of faith, don't you? Anyway, God gave you some responsibility of that faith in this country because you're allowed to vote. Maybe in other countries you need more faith because you're not allowed to vote. Anyway, so yeah, Trump does say outlandish things, but in a way that's very clear. I mean, like, he might use the word Muslim, in the sentence, and it's always taken out of context. You look at the very extreme way that he probably said it. It's like when someone was fighting in the woods in Vietnam and he said gook or something, where's the gooks? And there's no gooks out there. That's not a nice thing to say. They're in the middle of a battle or something. I don't know. Maybe it gets stuck on their tongue and they need to change it. I don't know. I mean, that's like a long time ago. So words change. People get upset about words. You don't have to be around people that you get upset about. But then you want to be someplace and they want to be there too, and you're both there at the same time, and it gets started into an argument, a disagreement. Then there's the old saying, if it's too hot in the kitchen, get out, or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of phrases you can use instead of beating people up or something. You could try to prove your point over a game of chess or something, or a game of pinochle or poker, and that's basically why they use those terms for politics, is because they're situations, they're games we play with each other that help us understand each other better, hopefully. When you're playing chess, it's more serious. So when you're playing like a game of chess, you should really only play friends. Because when you're like playing the game of chess with countries, usually it's not friends. So you want to be the best chess player you can. And you don't want two people that hate each other to play the game of chess. There's a difference between the game of chess and playing chess with another country. That's when you pull out the big boys. Your noggins, your nut noggins. Do 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 do. Like if you're playing someone in a friendly game of chess, and they hit you upside the head, I wouldn't play chess with them. But let's say they force you; they're your big brother, and they're like, "Damn it, you're gonna play me. I know you're cheating. I know you could have won, but you didn't try. Now let play." And then like if you win, you might get hit, you might not. He had a bad time that day, and bullshit. You know, I hear people yell all the time. I try not to yell. I don't know. Yelling is a weird thing. And if there's more going on, let me know. Yeah, hell yeah. There's so much more than just verbal abuse going on in my life. I'm not right now, but in the past, I'm not going to worry about it. Like it's all in record somewhere. 45s and M16s. With an M16 with 40 rounds and little guns. They have some fun. Mm-hmm. This is my weapon. This is my gun. This is for pleasure. This is for fun. No, wait. This is for fighting. This is for fun. This is my weapon. This is my gun. This is for pleasure. This is for fun. What does that even mean? We listen to so much music nowadays. Gotta give rock and roll to you. Give rock and roll to you. Put it in the soul of everyone. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Now, who knows about Santa Claus? Anybody? Anybody like? I know they're doing a lot of talk about the Catholic Church, so I'm going to talk about Saint Nick. Yeah, Saint. He's the little Saint Nick. Now, Saint Nick had a mental illness. He thought he was Jesus sometimes. I guess they would call that schizophrenia or something. I don't know what they'd call it. And he'd snap out of it. They'd kind of like lock him away. And whatever happened to Saint Nick? Did he die of like, we don't know. A lot of people think he died of natural causes. I heard like something about a chimney or something about he got locked in the chimney, man, or hung from a tree or something. I don't know. Because, he was, they couldn't stand him because he had a mental illness. And they figured out, I don't think that's why they didn't like him. Because he was like giving gifts to their kids, And was he weird? No. No. Well, what's his problem? I mean, he gave all he could give. Sometimes people get mad when you give them things. It's weird. I mean, like I wasn't really mad that I got sweaters, for instance, for Christmas, but I kept telling them I don't want sweaters. It was kind of funny, so I'd laugh, maybe. So maybe they thought, I liked them. It's a communication gap, I guess. I just wouldn't wear them because I didn't like them. I wasn't going to put them on. Sometimes I did anyway because that's all I ended up having to wear. So be it, Yeah. This is my weapon. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun. All that stuff doesn't matter much, but I can't believe they kill Santa over doing good deeds. It's probably deeper rooted. They probably were weak-minded. Probably their wives wanted them for lunch. I don't know, they were just, I'm not saying that everybody he gave things to were evil. That would be silly. That'd be like saying you throw your, he was the saint of throwing his pearls to swine. To swine. No, he was jolly. We know that. And how he died, we don't always know that. Matter of fact, we still think he lives up north. But if he did live up north, and they tried to do any of that stuff to him, he probably had like magic dust to make it go away. And then he ended up giving the gifts anyway. Kind of like, the bad guy would be like the Grinch or something. Yeah, the Grinch. And his heart was 3 times smaller than the average heart. I don't mean his physical heart. It could have been, I don't know. But then it got bigger, and the big heart, got smaller. It was just right. So I pray for all those people that have heart problems. And that's kind of like how St. Nick was. He's just like, I'm okay, you're okay. Let's just be okay. And that wasn't really okay for everybody. So I wonder about that guy that wrote that book about I'm okay, you're okay, and you don't think I'm okay anyway. Then the book won't work in that situation. It's like I can tell, Muslims that they're okay, and they can tell me that I'm okay. But as soon as they start cutting out people's heads off, that's not okay. I don't care. You're not okay. Okay? It's not okay. Now, that would be a certain type of jihadi. Jihadi in itself sounds like a warrior name. I mean, they don't call themselves peaceful citizens for nothing. They don't call us infidels for nothing. And we don't call them camel jockeys for nothing. So I know these are all harsh words. And I know Trump uses harsh words. He's trying to get better. He's trying to get better. Oh, I gotta have to go, I think. I will come back soon. We can overcome by the blood of the Lamb. And we shall have the victory. You know, my cousin Jeffrey, he's very liberal, and I really love him a lot as a cousin. I never get to talk to him because he's married and he got things to do and places to go. He had cancer recently. He was in the hospital. And then I talked to him when he got out, and or no, maybe when he was in the hospital, I'm not sure. But I just said, he said he was dying, and I just said, no, it's not your time yet. And I don't even know if we have the same religion or what. I'm not sure what he believes anymore. I mean, we all kind of take different routes trying to find the right door to open, the reality of the right door is what I'm trying to say. It can be very difficult. And sometimes you need guidance from the Holy Spirit. You can't do it yourself. Or that would be like it'd be all because of you that me. But anyway, I remember he did a play once, and it was really good. I almost thought I was there. There was like a court scene, and she had a mental illness, and she was in court trying to defend herself, and it was like a little skit, it was awesome. You had to pay to go in there, but it was like really nice. Yeah. I think he would be good to help me in the movie. Because it's not about that. It's not about talking correctly. I mean, it might be. Maybe that's something he might know better than I do. Or at least we can debate it in a movie and not actually act anything out. And if we act anything out, we could act it out in an acting way and not actually hurt each other. Like a movie. And it's so good to see the country pulling together. Because we have an adversary in our midst that's not, well, we might disagree on that. Like these, guys in these camps, we'll see what they're up to, Jeffrey. I'm going to feel like I'm talking to Jeffrey right now because, okay, Jeff, maybe these guys in the woods, you could say, and no one's going to convince you differently right at this point because there's so much fake news from both sides maybe or something. But the thing is, it's like these guys in the woods that are like Muslims. And some of these people might even be the ones that cut off heads in their own country, but they kind of changed their way when they got here, and it wasn't against the law over there, and now they changed their way. I don't know if they have, or can they be triggered, and we have to deal with these triggers. I don't know. Uh, it's like it's kind of nice to think we. If there's anything that Jeff could do for me, it would be to help me make this movie because I think he's. But I don't really want, like, I want cell phones to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we need people with cell phones showing situations, real situations, and also, I said like 10% of it, or 20% of it would be fiction, and the rest would be what's going on. And the 10% that's fiction would be like what things that might happen or is happening at the time, but we have actors playing the roles out. Because if the stress level has gone too high, we need to just take a few breaths. I remember who took me in was his brother when my family thought I needed tough love. He took me in, Johnny Lenardi. He took me in, I went to North Carolina. It was good to me. That's all I can go by, I don't know. So he was just very helpful. I never would have survived if it was without him, but we need each other. The tough love was almost that my family wanted was. I ended up joining the Army because I got the tough love situation going. I was like 155, 60, maybe 65 pounds at the time. So I lost about 65 pounds when I was down there. And it wasn't Johnny's fault, no. His thing was to get me to work. He was trying to understand what was going on with me. He was a very intelligent man. He did hit me once, but I did put a hole in the wall. So I guess I deserved it, yeah, for sure. I just thought I'd hit the ground. I can't believe I didn't hit the ground. I was like so impressed with myself that I did hit the ground. But he goes, "You want to get hit again?" I'm like, "No." He was like ex-Marine out there, and he was a little cop in the city. A little city we were in. It started with the F, I think. But the thing is like, it's just amazing. Like, the people would believe that, that he doesn't know anything, or he wasn't around to do anything, or he didn't know anything. And maybe he didn't. Maybe when I joined, he wasn't allowed to know or something. He was just he figured he was a police officer, that which give him some rights. And he was ex-military. You don't really ex-military. You're more like on the side military. So I think he knew. Let's put it that way. And he's still keeping his eye on me today, just in a different way. Six months. I accomplished so much in 6 months that I can't remember it, which is driving me nuts. Isn't that weird? I mean, I accomplished a lot in 6 months, but I can't remember any of it. And no one will explain it to me what I have accomplished. Because if they explain it to me, what does it matter? And that makes sense too. And being down to 100 pounds, I guess I worked out harder than I should have, I guess. Because I ate, I was shaving. I'm pretty sure when I went in the hospital, I was shaving. I'm thinking, damn, because they wanted to give me a shot. I don't know if you heard this, Jeff, but like, I was down there. He finally took me to a psychiatrist down there. probably in a military place. I don't know. So, him, he wants the best. So I went to, he talking to the guy, and he says, he was, I think I saw him twice, and then he wanted to give me the shot of Plixin. That's really all they had back then. It was Plixin, Haldol, and, or, you know, shots. Those were the only two shots they had. And he said that the doctor says, I want to give you a shot. And I said, why? And he said, well, what were you doing down here since you've been here for the last 6 months or something like that? What have you been doing since you've been down? He goes, how long have you been down here? I think he said. And I said, about 6 months. I just guessed. And then he said, like, what were you doing when you were down here? And I said, walking, because that's really all I remember doing. And I don't know if I didn't see Forrest Gump at the time or nothing like that, but I kind of felt like a Forrest Gump when I look back at it. Just walking, just walking around. It was just weird. And then, like, they're going to put me in the hospital. They gave me a shot. Anyway. And then, obviously, I ended up in the hospital. I mean, I walked to the college that he used to go to, and he gave me a phone number, but I couldn't remember anything at that time. It all was rushing back into my head while I was at the college that he went to, the same college I went to, but not for long enough to be noticed. And because that's where, because they even said my name. I didn't have a name tag on. Why do you say Frank? Take Frank to get something to eat and bring him back. And then when he asked me, I told him that something was wrong with me. He wouldn't. The dean, I went to the dean at the college, and he wouldn't take me to the hospital. And the dean said he couldn't take me. So he goes, I can call the police. So he did call the police, and this police officer frisked me. And then it was like in the bigger city. It wasn't, the little town, or little city, or whatever that your brother was the policeman in. And then it's a very militant place to be. Yeah, it's not like when I went to the place, to the recruiting office, there was like a food stamp place there, and people were getting there trying to sign up for food stamps or something. I'm thinking, I need to eat, I'm really hungry, can't get any food, might as well. And he dropped me off to work at this store where I could maybe do stocking shelves. And I thought, I can't do that. Not that I'm not strong enough, it's just like there's something going on with me. No one's going to understand me there. So when I went to the military, I figured, well, they're all about the mind, ain't they? I mean, they brainwash you to kill people and stuff. So they must know about the mind, because like before that, I went to the hospital and they said something was wrong, and then they said something was not wrong, and this back and forth and back and forth. Anyway, I love you guys. And Jeffrey, I love you very much. And I hope you're doing well. And if I don't see you before you pass away, which I hope you don't, I hope they find a cure of your cancer. And if you're feeling up to it, and if you're feeling able, I hope that you will help me with my movie. I think you would be vital in this situation. It makes money. We all like money. And we all help people out. I think we have more in common than you think. Probably more in common than I even think. I think just relax. Don't do it when you want to get to it. Relax. Don't do it when you want to come. Anyway, I don't want to leave because I almost feel engaged. Yeah, I feel engaged. Like, there's something I could say that was important. Let's not hurt each other. Let's find out what's going on, deal with it, and be gone. And just because they say mash unit doesn't mean everybody starts breaking things. Mash. He said mash, like mashed potatoes, and everybody goes nuts. It's like, wait a minute, that's not. Oh man, we could have a blast making this movie, man. Be like my last request before they take me, before God takes me too. I mean, I'm getting up. We're about the same age, if not the same age, you know. You're really the only cousin close, you know. I mean, there's like Linda Marks and Billy Marks, like William Marks. The rest of them I don't know very well. I know you have a lot of brothers and sisters, and I know them by their face. And I know a lot of their names, but I can't put the names with the faces, which I can with you. And we can make it. And I can kind of be sick too. And I do think people can get messed up if they're mentally ill on religion. But think about it, if you have a mental illness, you can get messed up on anything. You could, really, if you could start drinking, you become an alcoholic. If you keep on talking, you won't stop. That's like manic. If you keep eating, you won't stop. That's called overeating. If you stay up all night, it's called insomnia, which leads to not thinking clear. I mean, it all is with the insomnia. I think. I think with me, the insomnia, exomnia, blah, 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 blah. And people just gotta get along. It's kind of, so actually, it just seems like a weird thing. Weird, dude. Maybe they weren't even supposed. It's just funny because like everybody's worried about waterboarding. I remember saying that. It just struck me. It's like the enemy. We want them to say things, and so we give them water down their throat, drown, make them feel like they're drowning, so they'll talk, and they give shock treatment so you'll stop talking. And yeah, it's interesting. Because really, let's say you heard voices, which I don't. But they're supposed to be just for that, I know. But then they say, oh, it's just for depression. And whatever they want to say, they say it's just for that. But anyway, uh, shock treatment is all. I know they took it out of state hospitals. Because they used to think that shock treatment would, like people that had seizures and had mental illness, would do better than people who didn't have seizures and had the same type of mental illness. Okay, so they figured the brain wanted to have a seizure, which is kind of goofy, but yeah, that's what they thought. And but then they found out it's the medicine that the people were taking, like lithium and stuff like that, what was causing them to do better. It would protect each cell in their brain, and so the chemically in the neurological system was more functioning, and the bipolar, which bipolar stands for poles, which has to do with waves of electricity more than it does chemicals in balance. Waves is different than chemical. And bipolar, polar, like a battery is bipolar. It has the left side and the right side. It has the north and south. Bipolar. like a magnet, like the left hemisphere with the right hemisphere, and it's more of a electrical thing than it is a chemical thing. But they noticed that the the things for lithium would protect. You know, like I take Depakote for that, and the Depakote like coats like each cell in my brain, and that way, if a signal hits it that's off beat, that it won't take hold of that signal real easily. And that's where the bipolar thing comes in, because if the signal is coming, it's like having a seizure, really, because these bipolar things are like swings of mood. It's like an emotional roller coaster instead of a physical jerking, you know, physically shaking until you pass out. It's more like your brain tends to go higher and lower, you know, like a very you know, a wave like this, instead of like bipolar like this and going like this, you're kind of going like this. You're like waving instead of being, you know, level. And that's basically what bipolar is. Now, depending on the personality and the development of the brain and what they know and experiences in life, determine how that bipolar situation will affect you. According to Dr. Richard Atkins, my bipolar started when I was 4, and so did I'm not 4, when I was 4th grade, and so did my DID, dissociative identity disorder. So they thought I had bipolar. First, when I went to school, and I had a psychiatrist see me when I was in 4th grade. First time I ever saw a psychiatrist, I was in 4th grade. And they said I had a mental block, meaning that they thought I had to go through something to get to the other side. I couldn't go over it. I couldn't go under it. I had to go through it. I couldn't go around it. I had to go through it. And then they put me in special ed because my grades dipped from the highest grades in the class to the lowest grades in the class. And so back then, anybody that had problems that they didn't understand or did understand and didn't want to deal with, they put them in special ed. That's how I ended up in special ed. I used to wear a bow tie and a suit my first day of school. And then when I got into special ed, it was like, you just don't do that, because it was like a whole different environment. And I don't know if you ever know anything about this, Jeffrey. Maybe my family told you. I don't know. Maybe they didn't, so I'm telling you. Maybe this is the only way I can talk to you without being interrupted, because I know you're not feeling, you know, you got your own issues, and I love you, and I need to hear them, just like I want to know what's going on. I'm glad you posted. I want to thank you for posting on the thing on the internet, on your Facebook, about how you were not feeling good and you were in the hospital. It was very good for me so I could pray, I could seek God, and I got to talk to you. I was able to talk to you. It was really a blessing for me. I hope that I wasn't offensive in any way. I don't think I was, but when someone's close to dying and you tell them that they're not going to die, it can sound offensive. I've had that happen, and anyway, I just meant to not just give you hope, but the hope I really felt. It was something I really believed. And obviously, it was true to a point, because you're still alive, as far as I know. Yeah. I still believe it, so. Jeff Lunardi. I don't even know your middle name, Jeff. Jeff Richard? I don't know. Jeff Richard. No, that sounds like something. I don't know. I don't know your middle name. I don't even know if you have a middle name. But anyway. And I give a shout out to my other Lenardi brothers. Because they're all like basically brothers. Because we're my dad and their dad. Well, it's like my dad and their mom were brothers and sisters, which would make us cousins. I said my dad and their mother, and then my mother and their dad were brother and sister, so we're first cousins twice, which make us closer to brothers than any other type of relationship, except like, except if it wasn't really it would be more perverted. So it's a perfect double cousin, clean as a whistle type of reality and cool thing to have. And you guys really played a good role. I mean, like, I know you guys sell health food and stuff. I've been there. It was fun. I hope you guys are doing well. There's Chuck and Larry and there's Mike. I don't know what he's up to. I haven't seen him in a while, but I see he's on my internet here. And you know, Bobby, a new friend of mine, Bobby Lewis, well, Bobby Lewis. Oh, what's his last name? It'll come. Bobby Lewis Peacock. I like that name. They have a peacock in their garage. It's really cool. I took a picture of it. Thought it was cool. Yeah, we really are. It made me think we really all should like be ready for an emergency. It might not be, you know, the mental health emergency that Frank talks about, but we're all like, you know, trying to make sure we have enough food, enough clothes, enough hair gel, enough hair. As long as you have enough hair gel, you should do fine, Frank. Enough hair gel. Yeah. I need some hair gel or something. Jeez. It's good to see you again. Every which way blue she turned me, every which way blues. Oh man. I was working really hard and trying to find a job. Okay, let's see about the movie, what we have going here. We have me talking to Jeff, hoping that he would help. I have other people that might help. I don't know, they're not feeling good. You know, a lot of us are not feeling good. Isn't that strange? We said it, we'll keep yelling. The truth is out there. The coolest thing is like, I'm not perfect. It's not that I'm not perfect, like, either way. I'm not like physically, physically and psychologically, I can handicap, but it's like glasses. I need glasses, I need medicine, and I need probably some more exercise that I don't get. I just think that it's easier to be a Christian than not be a Christian, maybe. I go, yeah, but they're killing us off one by one. But I just think, you know. I just think, like, if, like, someone came to you and says, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. You know, hopefully I do what I think I would do. But I guess if I ever run into the situation, we'll find out. You know. I suppose if someone threatened me, I just figure they're going to kill me anyway. It doesn't matter what I say, really. I mean, you know, either fast or slow. Which way do you want it? You know. And I don't think everybody's a killer that comes over the border. That's kind of obvious. I mean, people like know these obvious things, don't they? I mean, they really don't like believe like. I mean, they say Trump says, "Hey, everybody, you know, all this," and they just like, you know, they say things that's like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Are you saying that, or you think he's like that?" I mean, there is people that have said like that in the past, like, you know, these group of people are not human, and these group of people are. I don't think Trump is like that, and I'm not like that. I mean, it's bad enough I got, you know, Jewish in me. I don't know. It's both of us. I don't know. We all could have Jewish in the Rubino part of me, I guess. Maybe even the Leonardo part of me. I don't know. I looked it up. We both have coat of arms. I noticed the Rubino coat of arms has like a Star of David on it and the shield. And the other one, the Lenardi coat of arms has two lions. Like, kind of reminds me of David, King David lion. And that would like that end supposed to stop with Jesus supposedly, but I don't know if that's reality or not. I mean, I do know that there's, you know, there was Jesus. You know, I mean, we believe as hard as we can because, you know, our birthday depends on it. You know, it's like what old I am. You know, I'm so many years old. What day were you born on? And you say the day and the year. A year of what? A year before Christ. So it's like, and then people say, "Oh, he never really was. We just made up that date." I suppose the farther you get away from something in time, people can be more convincing, I suppose. And that was a hard reality to knock out of people's head that Jesus might never existed. We just made up a date and called it Christianism. It's like saying our whole birthday was built on a lie. Hmm. How old are you? I'm old enough to know better. Too young to try. Everybody goes, that's not the way it goes, but I wasn't trying to make it go the way it goes. I'm not really sure how it goes. I just was making up my own thing. You make up too much of your own thing, man. You forget what other people do. Maybe I do. Let's start from scratch. Well, it's good to know. Uh, we all study the past to get to the future. Okay. Now, how does this germ get here? Probably by a missile. Kind of like a type of missile that's like from a plane, probably, or some kind of launching pad. And it doesn't, it's like a dirty bomb, but it's not really. The dirty bomb could be satellite high, I guess, or something. Something like that. It's like a spray of mist in a area. Yeah. Well, because if, like, let's say Michigan is the place they want to like start their headquarters, the enemy. We don't have to say like who or what country at this point. We say a bunch of countries that don't like us. Okay? And they spray this mitts instead of nuking us. You know, like remember like we had the fourth what was it? We thought the bomb was going we thought a bomb or the bomb was going to Hawaii. But in the movie, the bomb went to Michigan. So it was hard to trace because maybe they had like tracers things and different things in play where, you know, it was hard to trace which missile was which. They had like something called like tracers and so we thought it was going this way. There was nothing there. Or if there was something, there was nothing to worry about. But what came this way was the germ. Now, were they going to do it some other way? I don't know. Were we thinking other ways and all kinds of stuff? I don't know. But this thing, like, boom, right? Now you'd think, like, well, there's a lot of Muslims in Michigan. Why would they want to do that? I mean, if it was them. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. That's a good question. But I do know that probably if they wanted to make this their home ground, they'd want to get rid of us, but they wouldn't want to get hurt themselves. So they'd be like their own type of kosher. Their own type of kosher is not just what they eat and drink, but also the medicine they take. They're stingy and they got all the medicine or something. And we got to get some for ourselves. Listen to the movie. I don't know. Maybe we make up some of our own. I don't know. And that's what being Republican is all about. It's like, why do we think we're always smarter than the enemy? That's when we get our butt kicked. It's not smarts that make us win. We're just nicer. And then we go, see, you should be nice, not mean. I'm like, yeah, sometimes I do kind of talk kind of rough. And when you're talking about the president, you know, don't you think he should talk more not rough? I mean, I guess so, but I guess that SOB, you know, that's what's funny. I guess that SOB should not talk so SOB-ish or something. That's kind of more humorous. It's like that, you know, they just start screaming from the top of their lungs. It's like they're doing a war cry or something. God, Captain Army, not afraid to fight. Children of the cross, children of light, warriors of righteousness with healing in their hands. God, Captain Army, marching through the land. Let them hear a war cry. Yeah. I want to be a Christian. And this is what a psychotic man looks like. Talking on the phone. Talking on the phone. Teresa Williams. Teresa Wilson. Is it? Do. I'm the Duke of Hello, I love you. Let me jump in your game. I mean, you guys could be in the flick if you wanted to. All I had to do is hit this button. It says bring them on camera. Then all you'd have to do is hit the button, and we'd be talking to each other, and plus we'd also be broadcasting. But you don't have to do it if you don't want. But I'm just gonna hit this button, and then you just reject it if you don't want it. I gotta wait. Whoops. Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. Hey, brother. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Hangman is coming down from the gallows and I don't have very long. Yeah, politic and watching down. In politics, I don't know what they're playing. They're playing a little game of chess and a little game of pinochle. Not pinochle. Oh my gosh, it's getting Italian on us. Pinochle. When in doubt, play the queen. I guess. When have I got no queens? I'll play rook or something. I got rook, play 9. Why 9? You have to follow suit and you have to trump and you have to trump. It's not like spades where don't have to play trump. Spades is a little more tricky. It's like, you don't got no more spades. And I was on spade, gotcha. And there's no more to do. Sure, nice fun talking to you. Day by day. Oh, dear Lord. I think you're gonna. Now, I've been praying for you, brother. I want to call you brother, but you're my cousin, Jeffrey Lenardi. I don't know if I'm praying for a cure or a miracle, but maybe both. Because a miracle is always nice, but a cure could save a lot of people's lives. Yeah. Maybe while we're making the movie, you'd get an advance in your movie making, and if we lose out, we'd have to go bankrupt, I guess. But I think, the movie would make it. I don't know. It's entrepreneur kind of stuff. You take chances, the bank take chances. People take chances when you're making a movie. That's what that's what it's all about. And I'm thinking it takes money to make money, but it takes, it's like if it all depends on how a guy does it. I mean, I don't know. He could do whatever he wants, but he definitely has a protocol. I mean, he always has. So maybe he always will. Jeff, it's like finances must be tight when you got all those doctor bills and not enough insurance or whatever. That's another thing. But he never talks about it. The financial part of it must be crippling. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Maybe you have great insurance. I don't know. I'm not really sure what you've been doing. And, so, let's see. The movie could help with that. And if it could cause a cure, and not just heal you, but a medicine, I mean, there's cancer, there's Alzheimer's, there's, chemical imbalances people have. It all need to be worked on. And we all can only work on one thing at a time, I think, or we have to different categories for different situations. It's kind of like what happened with DID, dissociative identity disorder, like I have. It's like there's so much going on. It's just easier for my brain, I guess. people don't understand why it's easier. It's because it happened since I was young, and it's just easier for my brain to sort out information that way. Even though it might not make a lot of sense at first, when it starts to sink in, it's like maybe there's a little girl part of me or a little boy part of me. Well, they don't exist. In reality, I exist. But, so these different personalities, these different personas are real because they have thoughts, feelings, and emotions of themselves. They don't, hopefully, by hearing myself, I can understand the different personas. Yeah. So, it is love. It's like you take away the word love and pervert it. It's really hard to say anything anymore. We'd be down to body language or just, paralyzed with fear of communication. That's why I think, you got to break the ice. Someone has to break the ice and just talk a little crazy to get a word out or two. Mental health emergencies on. Thank you.